everything's Archie. Archie's here. Betty's here. Veronica too. Reggie's here. Hey Jughead, where are you? We wanna dance and we wanna sing. Have some fun and go adventuring. All our friends are here, but it ain't complete. We ain't the Archies without the Jughead beat. Whoa, Archie's here. Betty's here. Veronica too. Reggie's here. And here comes Jughead and Hot Dog too. So everything's Archie. Come on, let's go with the Archie Show.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Panel on Panels, the podcast about all things comics and comics related. I'm your host, John Campbell. Joining me as always, Mike Gergoni.
Yes, I am certainly here.
And next to him, Mr. Donovan Eilert.
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Well, I think the audience is probably pretty pumped after hearing our new opening theme song.
Oh, no. No.
Can we keep that?
Yeah, we're going to keep that because from now on, we're only talking Archie because everything's Archie.
Everything is
Archie.
Mm-hmm. Archie's
Everything.
here. As we learned, Archie's here. Betty's here. Veronica
I'm sorry.
Reggie's here.
Waiting for Jughead.
If you hear
We're
the
waiting for-
despondent,
and hot dog.
And hot dogs there, too.
me
Hot dog's part of it.
slowly
Yeah.
dying inside in my voice, it's because I was forced to sit through that.
And you know why you're forced to sit through that? Because today it's an all Archie podcast.
I know, John, and it hurts.
It's finally here.
I know.
The episode we've been waiting for. The episodes you, the listeners, have been waiting for. It's here. Archie is our stalwart.
Yes, he is.
Archie is our stalwart. This could be a big moment for us.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could just be another episode.
Here's the thing is, when I have enough courage to tell people that I'm on a podcast about comic books,
Yes.
and they're over, say, 40 years old,
Okay.
the first thing anybody ever says is, "You mean like Archie? Like, are you doing Archie stuff?"
40? Do you mean over? Are we talking octogenarians here? I think the demo is higher than 40-year-old. If they're talking like, do you mean Archie?
It's still my dad's go-to comic. So
There's a lot of people that this is what they think of with comics.
oh yeah.
Spider-Man, Batman, no. Archie. That is
No, my dad will tell you
ingrained in people's
my
mind.
dad his Spider-Man and Batman are Archie and Dennis the Menace.
There you go.
Dennis the Menace. What was his shtick? Was he was an asshole of a kid?
A fairly innocent one, even at that.
Like, I feel more for Mr. Wilson, quite frankly.
But when you're 8 years old and you're reading that, you're like, yeah, you're really pulled. That's the same reason Home Alone does great.
Oh, that kid's way cooler than Dennis the
You
Menace.
think so?
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a direct adaptation.
I think Dennis the Menace actually led to like a Bart Simpson. Is probably the
that
the
probably
actual-
makes
the
sense.
slingshot is like 1-to-1.
Well, there's a great Simpsons joke about Dennis the Menace where Bart meets the guy who played Dennis the Menace on the old show, and he was like, "I was America's original bad boy. One time I hid my dad's hat." It really is. It's stuff like
Right.
that. That's what makes him a menace.
And Archie is very much in that vein as well, of just like...
Well, it's very much in this, like, everything. The thing that's interesting about Archie to me, or one of the reasons I think that maybe people like you were so soured on it, is
Sour doesn't do how I feel justice, John.
we can't say that-
Curdled, I feel like, is where I'm at. I am
All right,
curdled
you
on
fully,
Archie.
You fully curdled on Archie. But one of the things, it was like through all these years, and we'll get to what's happening with Archie right now, and what is the primary reason we're talking about Archie today. But Archie always felt like he was the product of a bygone era.
Yes. Even when he was new.
He's constantly, even in 1941, he felt a little antiquated.
People reading this go, come on, guys, get with the times.
This is 20s stuff. But yeah, there's always been this thing. Like I felt like I could never tell. Did they ever try to move him into modern day? He always seemed to be in the 40s or 50s. Really,
Having read I briefly read. When I say read, I'm not well read in Archie by any stretch.
you're not caught up.
No.
You haven't been binge reading Archie?
No, I really haven't. Have you? Please say you haven't.
That's what all I've been doing for the I'm fully
my
caught up. I've
God.
read it all. No. I went back to 1941 and then over the last 6 years.
Just straight into my brain.
Yep.
You tape my eyes open and just force feed me
it's
Archie.
all Archie all the time.
But I don't know.
Archie. I just keep hearing
because
that.
I spent so long working at a
That's
convenience
playing out
store.
loop. Yeah.
Like I saw Archie coming through on the magazine stand all the time.
Do people
And-
buy those?
No, but to be fair, they don't buy magazines anymore either.
True. But I just, you always see that like at the store, the like Archie Jughead Double Digest or whatever it is. Next
Well,
to
those are at like the Safeways and whatnot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
convenience stores, they still got like the single issues
Yeah.
that would come in. And at 3 a.m. when you've like cleaned the coffee counter for the 8th time, sometimes you just got to force yourself to read Archie.
I remember I bought some Archies as a kid because it was like, well, it's better than no comic. You go to the
Right.
grocery store and you're like, well, it's still a comic book, so that's something.
There was like 30 years where I think that was their motto. It's better than nothing.
I feel like that was always the case, and it was always considerably cheaper than whatever the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like one of the only comics that never moved out of the disposable era. You know,
Yeah, I don't
like newspaper funnies that you wrap presents with, and Archie were like the ones. You could pick it up and read 2 pages and.
There was
throw it
also
away.
probably a distinct period of time where it was where everyone else was kind of like trying to jump ship on the Comics Code Authority. Archie never left.
No, exactly. Archie always had a Comics Code seal of approval. I think because it didn't matter.
No,
Right up until I think that just defunct now, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I've never seen
I
that.
don't-
I haven't seen that in anything in quite a while.
I don't think that it ever was overturned, but I just think people don't care.
I just don't think anybody has it on there anymore.
Imagine
either,
if we could do that with the MPAA. Oh,
if you, I mean,
this is me
conceivably-
looking wistfully off in the distance right now.
Yeah, of course. Easily. I mean, you easily could if people didn't. I mean, these are situations where they're internal review systems,
Right.
So if everybody just ignored it, that'd be the end.
Yeah.
But people pay a lot more attention to the MPAA than Comics Code.
No,
Oh
it's
yeah,
true.
because like I said, I really pretty much think the Comics Code is gone.
I have no idea.
I don't
All
even
I know is even if it is around, it is so irrelevant it doesn't matter.
Right? Yeah, it's not an MPA or like an E ESRB.
There aren't parents looking for comic books these days being like, well, does the Comics Code Authority approve this book?
I don't see the seal on it. You better put that Archie back.
You better put that Archie back. Wow.
Hey, I mean, if you think about it, they're dealing with some. I mean, the whole book is kind of, or at least it should be on the surface, like a sex farce, right?
I mean,
But they
you've said
never-
this a couple of times, but yeah.
Yeah.
About like the core of the book is there's a guy he can get with one of 2 girls.
Yeah.
I mean, and him like not making up his mind.
Yeah.
Also, there's Jughead. He likes burgers.
Yeah. Jughead, yeah. Archie's in love with these 2 girls. Jughead's in love with burgers.
Having read like a sconce of Archie in leading up to this,
We're using all the words today.
I like words.
I know. Yeah.
Having read like a smattering of Archie, it's clear. It's pretty clear to me that Jughead is just like the personification of Garfield.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Why was it like? Did Jughead in any way influence like a Shaggy and Scooby Doo?
Oh, he has to.
Yeah,
he's very much.
That's
feels
gotta
like,
be.
I feel like all of this stuff
Like
kind of.
Jughead grew up, had a kid in the 70s, and his name was Shaggy Rogers.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. He lost custody. That's why the last
the
name's different.
Well, Jughead can't raise a kid.
He's not emotionally
He is-
prepared for that.
No.
I may have something to talk about later about Jughead raising a kid.
Oh God.
There's just a little tease about. For those of you who listened to our Spider-Man episode, you know my collection of oddities of pop culture is.
Oh, I thought you were going to say hate for your co-hosts.
Well, that too.
Either or.
Yeah, either one.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I've got some fun deep cuts from the Archie canon.
Yes.
that will be
Bring it
that will be
on.
talking
See,
about.
Archie itself is a deep cut these days. So,
But it's not. Again, like I said, there are a lot of people when I mention this, one of the first things, sometimes the only thing they mention is Archie. Mm-hmm. Like that's
who?
like parents of people I'm talking to or
grandparents of
Yeah.
those parents.
But the thing is, it's not even that. Like I said, like we're
People who have been locked in a vault for 50 years.
no, you're right. You're right. I mean, Archie in the '60s was a legitimate comic and stuff. I mean,
the thing
still.
is you've seen him forever. Because
I think even young people know who Archie is.
in the vaguest of sense.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Just like, oh, that's that guy I see at the supermarket sometimes.
I was just talking to somebody actually earlier today. I was saying we're going to go do an Archie podcast, and she was like, "Oh, Archie, yeah, was that like a comic strip or something? I think I know what that is."
Just a vague awareness of it.
Yeah, but never really read it or anything. And I'm
Right.
like, yeah, that's most
Why
people's
would you?
reaction. Then I tried to explain. Well, there's this thing coming out that do I really need to bury the lead on it? We've
No.
talked enough about
No.
Mark Waid and Fiona Staples.
Yeah.
And whatever it turned out as, we'll get into our review later. The incredibly baffling decision that was them taking over Archie was pretty amazing.
Baffling, but also genius.
Maybe we'll see. I
Yeah.
think it's selling really well. So.
Excellent.
a lot of hype. A lot of hype
Well,
on this one.
that's Archie's present. Let's go back. Let's go back to the origins.
Yesteryear, John. Take me to yesteryear.
Let's go back to the secret origins of Archie Andrews.
Oh, what are the secret origins of Archie Andrews?
Well, if you do pick up a copy of this new Archie, Archie #1, you will see in the back of it printed the original appearance of Archie, which was a short story in a comic called Pep Comics. This was in 1941. And you read this, Gergani, right?
Yeah. It's weird. Like, seeing that original interpretation of Archie, you don't really think about, like, old racist stereotypes in comic books for white people, but this would be that.
This is it. So Archie Archie was originally based on. There's an inspiration for this. There were these films. This is pretty far back. So
Sure.
get ready. This is the 1930s, and a young Mickey Rooney.
Okay.
Made a series of films playing Andy Hardy was his character's name.
All right.
So this is, you got to keep in mind, this is before television was invented. So you had these sort of.
Were they serials?
They weren't serials, but they were consistent. Like every couple months, they'd release the sort of they're like 60 minutes, or 50, 60 minute. They're not really movies, but they also weren't like serials.
It was a miniseries.
They were kind of making. I mean, like clearly the impetus for like a television series was there.
Right.
And he starred as this lovable rascal named Andy Hardy. Here's a picture of him.
He looks like Archie.
Yeah, there's a picture of him with Judy Garland, who is in. This is a picture
wow.
from the movie Love Finds Andy Hardy. There's a bunch of these. Andy Hardy goes to college. Andy Hardy's private secretary. Andy Hardy's whatever. And he was the. It was initially, there was just a movie about the Hardy family, and then he was the breakout character, and so they started making all these Andy Hardy things. And yeah, he's sort of like Archie. He's kind of a lovable, average teenager who's always getting into wacky shenanigans and getting mixed up with girls and stuff. But these were
Mixed up with those girls.
yeah, these were very
Or
popular.
Goyles, as they'd say at the time.
Goyles, yeah.
Do you think that Mickey Rooney got any royalties from any Archie ever? Do you think he was just like, I am Archie. You would be nothing without me.
I know for a fact he was shouting that till the day he died. I am Archie.
That's what his headstone says.
Mickey Rooney, and then I am Archie.
That's what I thought. The only celebrity headstone that I've ever visited.
Yeah, it's Mickey
Rooney.
Well, I know, yeah, of course.
Yep.
You've modeled most of your life after him.
Sure.
Eyebrows alone.
Yeah, very.
But these movies were very popular, and the publishers of what would later become Archie Comics decided we should cash in on this. So we should have a comic that's aimed at teenagers, like these movies are aimed at teenagers. So two guys, Vic Bloom and Bob Montana, created.
Great name.
Aren't they?
Bob
Bob Montana.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
And so in the pages of Pep Comics number 22 from December 1941, Archie Andrews was born. But here's the thing. You've read this, Gurgoni. This Archie doesn't like going by Archie.
No.
God forbid.
Much like Scott Summers in the first issue of X-Men.
When he was Slim Summers.
When he was Slim Summers,
Yeah.
this Archie Andrews prefers to go by a different moniker.
It's the secret to success in comics is call everybody different stuff the first time around and then change it immediately.
This Archie wanted to go by Chick.
Yep. Well, who could blame him, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he has a name like Archibald.
Everyone just calls me Chick.
I love this idea too that he's introduced. This is the first introduction of him. He's standing. We're looking at it right now.
Great podcasting right now, John.
Yeah, sorry. Well, he's standing on a bicycle, but he has 1 foot on the handlebars and 1 foot on the seat.
Safe. It's totally safe.
And he's saying, just a matter of skill, that's all.
Yeah, no,
He's a circus performer.
he's some kind of acrobat.
Yeah. And his second line is, hiya, my name's Archie. This is written out.
Yeah, you got to get the vernacular.
My name's Archie, but call me Chick. I don't
So-
know.
The best thing is that Archie is already.
what's great about
a
this
nickname.
page is that it says Archie is like the
In
big title up at the top.
gigantic letters,
And
it says Archie.
The second thing the character named Archie says is, "Don't call me Archie." Who would call me Archie?
He's speaking, though, to his new neighbor, Betty Cooper, who people may know. I'm assuming I don't have to explain the plot of Archie in general.
She later
John,
becomes called.
please explain the plot of Archie.
There's this guy named Archie, and there are 2 girls.
Okay.
One's blonde
Yep.
and sort of innocent.
Sure.
One's dark-haired and a little more, I'm going to go, experienced or forward.
Whoa.
I'm going to avoid words like hussy or harlot.
No, tell us what you really feel, John.
Well, I also want to keep it in the 40s vernacular. Gee, he just can't decide who to have sex with.
Also, there's Jughead.
Yeah.
He loves burgers.
Jughead loves burgers. And then Reggie is somebody.
Reggie's around.
I don't really know if Reggie has characteristics. But yeah, so he's...
And there's a character named Hot Dog, I'm told.
There's a dog named Hot
dog.
Dog who shows up at some point. But so right off the bat, he's doing all these dares to impress Betty. He's walking on a fence blindfolded,
Like you do.
and then he's wrecking her father's paintings and vases and
Like you do.
Yeah.
shenanigans.
Way to get a girl.
I love it.
Wreck their parents' shit.
Yep.
If I've learned anything through all my years of going to like recklessly stupid parties as a teenager,
Yeah.
it's if you wreck the parents' houses, the girls will like you.
Oh yeah, I did a lot of house wrecking in my day.
yeah, says the guys who eventually started hosting a comic book podcast.
Well, yeah.
Pretty popular with the ladies.
oh, yeah.
We have to do something in the in between time. Come on.
Let's be home wreckers. Literally.
But I just love that Mr. Goober's like, my portrait ruined. Oh, you imbecile.
Was it a portrait of himself?
It's a picture of him in his lodge uniform.
Like you do.
Thank
And there's
God.
also a character who I don't think continued through this, which is Archie's grandfather, Gramps. who
Yeah, he
seems to-
died.
Did he die?
He
don't know.
appears in some Archie stuff.
You remember Gramps?
Gramps appears.
Well, he's here to...
Grandpa Andrews.
Yeah, he's here because... I don't know. He's given Archie advice about things.
He's a worldly scholar.
His advice to him is, yes, sir, women like men with courage.
Yeah. No,
There you go.
it's not terrible advice. As
Thanks,
advice goes.
Gramps. I'll think of something, Archie says.
You wonder how many
He's got to jump Snake River.
10-year-olds read this in 1941 and just went out and wrecked houses,
Tried to walk on
walking fences.
steered
Right.
bicycles with their feet.
Yep.
So we're then introduced to Archie's best pal, Jughead.
Oh, great.
And he says, I tell you, Jughead, I got to get an idea, a big idea. This is Jughead's first line ever in comics. Gals, phooey.
You tell him, Jughead.
They're poison, chick. Stay away from them. I warn you.
Jughead had the right idea. Let's be honest.
Gals, phooey.
If not for that advice, if Archie had heeded that advice, this comic would be so much shorter.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, I don't want anything to do with either of you. Dun, 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 dun. Whap. Done.
But it does make me question what Jughead's intentions are here.
Look, Jughead wants
They're
Archie
poison
out of
chick.
the picture so that he can swoop in.
There you go.
Jughead wants them both.
Yeah. Jughead. Yeah. Archie can't decide. Jughead's like both.
Jughead's shooting for the menage a trois.
Yeah, obviously. So Archie agrees to help Betty run a taffy booth at the local carnival.
Nothing says courage like pulling taffy.
It is the strongman snack.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No, it
To
is
which,
not.
To which the always brilliant Jughead says, "There you go, getting in deeper and deeper. Now it's taffy. Gee, what's next?"
Some kind of candy floss or ether frolics. Possibly a phosphate.
Is this the issue where Archie starts Willy Wonka's chocolate factory?
Yeah, that's it. That's how this wraps up.
Enslaving indigenous peoples to make candy?
Tickets
What's
to-
next, Archie?
Tickets to the carnival are 10 cents. The panel introducing the carnival is great. There's a guy barking carnival stuff. Then there's a cop twirling his nightstick.
Yeah.
Just saying, my, how peaceful.
Look, the cops of Riverdale have it so easy up until the Punisher or the Predator shows up.
I think so.
Or the whole town bursts into flame and becomes hell.
Whereas Greendale, man, those cops have it rough. Lots of witchcraft.
So then all Jughead does is talk down about women in this comic. Because his next line is, "Listen to me for a change, Archie." Now he's calling him Archie, not Chick.
Well, because they halfway through the comic they realized what the name of the comic was.
Should we go back and change it? Nah, forget it. It'll be fine.
We've gone too far.
So he says, "Let's get out of here. Dames is trouble. Dames
is trouble. I have that tattooed on my shoulder.
Pretty sure that could be the tagline for the entire comic. Archie,
Dames is trouble.
Anyway, it ends with Archie somehow having to walk a tightrope in a carnival,
and then his parents get killed, and then he gets taken under the wing of a rich billionaire. I've seen how this goes.
I think you might have read the wrong comic.
No. He learns how to shoot a bow and arrow.
Oh, yeah.
And then becomes an Avenger.
Mm-hmm. That's it. But of course, he spills taffy on Mr. Cooper, and oh boy,
what a sticky situation.
I see what you did there, because taffy.
I should have written for Archie in 1941.
Go back in time.
Man.
First step, become a writer for Doctor Who. Second step, get a TARDIS. Third step, go back in time, become a writer for Archie.
You know
Show them your Doctor Who credentials you're in.
You know that I would leverage my Doctor Who TARDIS privileges to write Archie Andrews.
Oh, yeah.
First thing. Mm-hmm. First thing I would do.
All right. So
John is getting serious.
This is the last thing I have to say about that. I just want to read. I just want to read the. There's a little. I get basically a note from the editor at the end of this.
Oh, brilliant!
Some kid, that Archie, huh, gang? There's another barrel of trouble and fun waiting for him and his pal Jughead in the next issue of Pep Comics. If your heart is weak and you can't stand laughing too much, then don't read it because.
Because you'll die.
Because you'll roar until you can't catch your breath, and the tears will roll. You'll roar until you can't catch your breath, and the tears will roll. Archie. This is the first appearance of him. Archie, comics laugh sensation.
Fair enough.
I didn't laugh once reading
I will say this about that last line.
A lot has changed since comedy.
What fun did Jughead had in this first issue of Archie, other than hating on women? Because we all know how fun that is.
That's always fun.
That did not come out right. I apologize.
We're gonna pull that out of isolation.
Yeah.
Don't worry. All you have to do is wreck their parents' house, and you'll be back in good standards.
Okay, that's it.
So Archie goes on for years and years and years and becomes popular.
How many years, John? Because it's a lot.
Well, 1941 to now, he's never been out of circulation.
74 years?
When was the first issue of Captain America printed? Does Archie predate Cap?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
Probably not by much. Probably not by much. But we were definitely already in, I think we were already in World War II, right?
I mean, World War II was happening.
Yes. Ooh, no.
No?
March of 41 to December 41 is Archie. So pretty close.
When was the first issue of Cap?
Yeah, March of 41.
So, and the first issue of Archie
December
was
41.
December. Okay, yeah.
So yeah, not too far there, you know.
No. If Cap is March of 41 and Archie is December of 41, then Cap predates Archie.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
he does. He does.
Go Cap.
Ooh, barely made it, buddy.
USA.
Remember when Archie was frozen in ice for a long time?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That was basically all of Archie comics through 1941 to now.
Yep.
It was Archie
Here's
being
a fun
frozen.
little thing. Archie became, fairly popular, and as was there was no TV at the time,
Ugh, poor souls.
but there was a radio hour.
Oh.
And Archie was on the radio. In 1943, starts the Archie radio show on NBC called The Adventures of Archie Andrews. And I'm going to play just a taste.
Oh, God, John.
Just a taste of
Oh,
this.
God, John.
This episode is actually from 1951.
Oh,
the show
okay.
show ran for 10 years straight, 43 to 53.
And then TV happened.
This is called mailing income tax. The title of something.
Hello?
Hello, Jughead. This is Archie. Come over right away. It's a matter of life or death.
Oh, relax, Archie. Relax.
That's Jughead.
Yes, here he is again, the youngest of millions of readers of Archie Comics magazine, know and love so well.
Straight from the
Archie
pages.
Andrews and all his gang.
It's so old-timey, right?
Like with the organ music and everything.
And now for our weekly visit to Riverdale.
It's late Saturday morning as we look in on the Andrews home, and we find Mr. Andrews in the living room seated at his desk, just completing a job that millions of American fathers had to do this week.
What?
He's making out his income tax report.
Oh.
Man, that's that. Wow. I thought I'd never get it finished. And make these forms any more complicated, it'd be simpler not to earn any money at all. Ooh, and this check.
Even the crowd isn't laughing, John. Even the crowd isn't laughing.
So that episode is called "Mailing Archie Andrews Mailing Income Tax."
Oh my God! Archie does taxes. How riveting can we get?
Hang on, this is but one of many enthralling episodes, including such classic as Archie gets dressed for a date with Veronica, Mr. Andrews wallpapers a room, and the all-time great, like one of the classic episodes of just American. Buying a hammock.
You know,
Archie buys a hammock.
I like the idea of the radio
there
show.
can be physical comedy in like approaching and mounting a hammock that does not come across in a radio play.
It just is all sound effects. Whoa,
By
By the way,
snap.
I love
Oh God, my leg!
Yeah.
Jughead's voice in that. Archie, Archie.
He sounds like a cartoon sidekick from something like Thundercats or Brave Star.
If you mix Snarf with a old-timey police siren, that's what you would get.
Archie. So Archie's always been there through the decades, of course.
Unfortunately,
Nothing
can stop him.
Nothing.
He's like some kind of dark plague.
So Archie,
through the
though,
decades,
you remember in the
grinding at the human soul.
You remember how in the 1960s, kids love their rock music.
Oh yeah, with their swinging hips and their
yeah,
banging heads and their gyration. Ugh, what's
not
wrong with
in
that?
my home?
No, Donovan, shut that down. You shut that down.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was in front of the Comics Code. I was in front of dancing. Elvis, let's get that guy out of here. The Beatles?
I don't think so.
Bigger than Jesus? No way, Jose.
So with the rise of rock and roll in the 1960s and such, Archie, of course, had to. This is like a fun history lesson. I'm loving
Fun.
this.
Fun is the word you're using here.
So Archie forms his own band, the Archies.
So original. How did everyone else in the band react to that when he pitches that? It's just like, so guys, we're getting together. I think we got a pretty good thing going. We need a band name. I'm thinking the Archies, and everyone was just like, really, Arch? Really?
The Archies was the name of a band in the 60s. They did a song called Calendar Girl. Mm-hmm. They did a song called Sweet 16.
Are we talking about the same band?
No, they're not the same band.
Well, but
The Archies.
The Archies did have a hit.
What was the hit?
They had a big hit. You may be familiar with it. I'll play it for you, and then we'll talk a little bit about how this came to be.
Okay.
But I believe...
I'm looking at the title on your computer screen. I think I might know what this is.
I think you should know what this is.
And now, the Riverdale Carnival
This is Mr. Weatherby
presents
introducing
the
them.
Archies.
Take care of the kissing booth while we're singing, Sabrina.
Okay, everybody, here we go with our new hit record, Sugar, Sugar.
Our new hit record.
This is the song, yeah.
This is the Archies.
Sugar. Oh, honey, honey,
Oh, I guess it's not called Calendar Girl.
you are my candy.
Candy Girl. That's what it is.
Oh, no. Then they weren't a real band. They were a cartoon band.
My childhood is a lie.
Honey,
Oh, no, it's just your childhood is Archie.
It's a really catchy 60s
Oh, yeah.
pop song.
Oh, Reggie. Swooping in for some great action. And now he's a frog. Okay.
I highly recommend just go type in Archie Sugar Sugar into YouTube and you'll find this 1969 clip where he just turned into a frog after Sabrina kissed him. And he seems pretty happy about it.
I am curious. At what point were they writing Archie and it's like, okay, we got all this teen drama stuff going on. Let's introduce witchcraft.
We should talk. Before this.
Do you know when Sabrina started?
Yeah, we'll get into Sabrina in just a second, but I'll finish up the Sugar Sugar comment, which is they originally wanted the Monkees to sing that song, but the Monkees didn't like it, so
They have good taste.
The Monkees, who were also an acting troupe that became a band.
But yeah,
That only makes sense.
the world Archie, much like Marvel,
Always wanted to be.
Bit of a stretch, John. Bit of a stretch.
is a shared universe.
Yeah, of course it is. You might say it was probably one of the first shared universes.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
There are a couple of things that that connect to Archie. The first we mentioned, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and then
Which I know more about than Archie, I think.
you know more about that than Sabrina.
That's mostly thanks to the TV show. Yeah.
I've seen every episode of the live action and the cartoon television show maybe 6 times over.
Clarissa Explains Witchcraft.
Oh my gosh. I remember just coming home every day and just watching that show.
Sabrina.
So
Salem. What a great character.
Sabrina first appeared in Archie's Madhouse number 22.
It's a madhouse.
That's what the cover is. Just Archie screaming that.
Was she introduced as a witch?
That was Madhouse number 22 in 1962. Was she?
She didn't develop her witchcraft powers.
It would be
until later.
amazing if she's introduced as just the girl next door or like in the town over, and then like 5 issues later you find out she's a witch.
I don't know if she was initially introduced.
She
as a witch or not.
practices dark magic.
Oh, my
She has made a
gosh.
pact with the beast.
That would be incredible.
But she was a major character in it, and she's a witch, which is weird.
It's not weird. Both her aunts are witches, John.
Yeah, it's genetic.
Yeah, that's right.
Though what happened to her parents?
But,
Don't ask.
Look,
Don't.
something fuels the dark
If
magic.
you're raised
that's what
by
I'm saying.
if you're raised by 2 aunts and a talking cat, don't ask what happened to the parents. You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
But the other thing that's also in this world, kind of connected to the Archies, is Josie and the Pussycats.
Indeed.
Great.
Great.
That's great.
I can only assume that Jabberjaw's in there as well.
Yeah. But it is interesting.
Speed Buggy, is he also coming out of the Archies? Now I'm just
sure.
naming 60s and 70s cartoons.
Now I'm wondering how Punisher and how Predator and how all these people fit into the AAU, the
Well, we should-
Archie Andrews
we
universe.
should talk about my favorite Archie comic, which is Archie Meets the Punisher.
Oh, God. I love the cover of that
The
so
cover
much.
of the cover of this is a school dance, and Archie's dancing with Veronica, and in the corner of the dance is the Punisher in full Punisher getup,
yeah.
holding a machine gun.
Yep.
And hang
Just
on.
looking around.
And then Archie's looking over at him, and Archie's line is, "I knew there'd be a chaperone, but this is ridiculous." And it says, "The team up you thought would never happen."
Because it shouldn't have. When is that made? 84?
Yeah, August of '84.
I am now realizing
It was a one-shot from what I gather.
there could be, in the 3rd season of Daredevil, an Archie Andrews appearance. Wouldn't that be incredible? Punisher's going to be in season 2.
Yes.
What if that was a setup for a Punisher spinoff show or Archie Andrews?
So that's actually what we're going to end up getting is like, yeah, Punisher's in season 2, but he dies. What we really get is the Archie inclusion.
Oh, yeah.
That gets us into the Archieverse.
We go from the deep, dark, depressing Hell's Kitchen of Daredevil into Riverdale High. That'd be a hard turn between season 2 and 3.
So here's the amazing thing about this comic.
Elektra's the math teacher or something.
Yeah, exactly. No, she's Veronica. She changes her name.
Oh.
See what I'm doing here?
So here's the amazing thing about this comic.
I really don't.
The Punisher was drawn by Marvel Comics artist John Buscema, who's a Marvel legend. But then all the Archie stuff was drawn by a guy named Stan Goldberg, who was
There
drawing.
were 2 separate art styles going
Yeah.
on in the same comic.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
And at the end, it was teased. This never happened. A Wolverine Jughead crossover.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how this must not have sold well because apparently they wanted to do that, but then that didn't.
Now I'm just imagining Wolverine with like a burger on each claw and Jughead chasing after him.
Oh my gosh. I've dreamed that before. I
You
realized.
guys, Archie has a superhero background.
Go on.
In 1966,
I'm going to regret asking.
Archie became Captain Pureheart.
All right.
A Superman-like character with powerful strength and the ability to fly using jet boosters, pretty close to rocket boots.
And I don't know if we've mentioned on the show, but we love rocket
We
boots.
endorse
Oh,
rocket
yeah.
boots to the
100%,
highest.
Yeah.
Along
As
with
high as you can get with rocket boots.
along with
Pretty high.
with Betty as a hero named Super Teen, And Jughead, who
super
took up
team.
the mantle of Captain Hero. They worked really hard on that.
Wow.
Captain Pureheart battled villains like the Ice Cube and Evil Heart, i.e. Reggie. Is Reggie normally a villain? I don't really know much about Reggie. Using super bad breath, exploding bubble gum, and the power of pure heart, not surprisingly, Captain Pureheart was canceled from lack of sales.
Good. one of Pureheart's superpowers was bad breath. So it's not a superpower so much as...
No. Super bad breath.
Oh, okay.
There is a
It's
difference.
lack of hygiene. It's not a superpower.
Since when?
That's why we debate whether or not the Blob is actually a mutant.
Oh, but you guys, if you thought Archie didn't tackle religion,
Oh, God, John.
No, I did think that.
you'd be very wrong. Mm-hmm. In 1973,
Yes.
a guy named Al Hartley, who was an
Sure.
artist for Archie, he got permission to use the character in a series published by Spire Comics, which is a Christian publishing, and they made 49 issues of Archie that was aimed specifically at a Christian audience, which included such stories as converting a hippie to Christianity,
Okay.
convincing a reporter of the importance of prayer,
Great.
and demonstrating what happens when schools stop teaching the Bible.
I believe we just gave that to Donovan. That's the Riverdale goes to hell. It's just like everything's in flames. People are dying. There's zombies everywhere.
Well, and I mean, maybe they were being poignant here, but 7 times 7 is a biblical number there. 49 is a lot of importance there.
Yep.
Bet the subliminal
So
messaging.
you think they chose to do a 49?
Oh yeah, because why would they stop? Why wouldn't they do like our 50th issue? Mm-hmm. It'd be sacrilege.
But that's just so strange to me.
Yeah, no, strange is the correct word about
want-
everything we've been talking about, John.
So,
But it gets better. That's the
Archie-
thing, is it gets better.
Archie has also had 6 separate animated series.
Yeah, you were saying this earlier,
Yeah.
and I'm shocked that there's not a more recent one.
Apparently, there's
What's the most recent? Do you know?
I think the most recent was Archie's Weird Adventures. Apparently, they were trying to develop something in 2013 that obviously didn't happen. It was called It's Archie.
Oh, wow, that is weird looking.
That's like very Nickelodeon kind of
Yeah,
art
yeah.
style. We're looking at a page about it. This obviously didn't happen because this article about it is from 2013, and I don't remember the show
No.
coming on. But yeah, it was called It's Archie.
And we have never stopped watching cartoons, so...
Nope.
No, why would we?
No, they're the best. So I don't know, but yeah, there have been 6 other ones: the Archie Show, the New Archies, Archie's Weird Mysteries, other ones, I guess.
So this was what I was wondering about, though, John, is so there have been all these cartoons. I was kind of vaguely aware that there were all these cartoons. Have there ever been any live-action Archie stuff?
You ask this?
I mean, I'm genuinely curious. Oh, God, there is. Oh, God. See, I asked this not knowing these things.
It's called Happy Days, right?
Perfect setup for what I have for you.
Oh, God.
Thank you for that.
This is completely accidental. I apologize for
We
setting
did not
John
set
up.
this up.
No.
Because I specifically did not tell you what I have for you guys today.
No.
I have something that could rival the Spider-Man thing, which is in the year. Let me get a year on this. Yes, you would think Archie's such a popular character, right? You would think, my God, somebody must have.
Well, I mean, saying he's such a popular character is a bit of...
Surely somebody thought he'd be rife for a film.
I would say that some studio
Adaptation.
executives at some point said we could maybe make money off of this. I don't know about ripe for adaptation is what the words they would use.
Well, we'll see. We shall see.
There's name recognition. We could probably make money off of this.
And they weren't wrong.
Well, they might have been kind of wrong.
Good. Ugh, what is this now, John? What new horror have you summoned from the depths of the internet?
The year was 1990.
Okay.
Okay.
And America needed new movies. This was 1 year after Batman. We had to adapt comic books. It was so successful. And so a little studio, we'll get the logo for it at the beginning, decided to produce a film called Archie, Return to Riverdale. So we are going to look at, I believe, the only live-action film adaptation of these
It's
characters.
a full-length film.
This is a film. This is a
Have you
full-length
seen
film.
this film before,
I have
John?
not seen this. I have not seen.
We're
this
about to
movie.
watch the trailer.
We're about to watch the trailer. You can look it up. It's called Archie's Return to Riverdale, and
Watch along.
on
yes, watch
YouTube.
along with us. All right, we're going to start playing it right now.
Begin cringing now.
Oh, okay.
So this is straight to video.
Remember Riverdale? Pop's Soda Shop? Reggie? Mr. Weatherby? Jughead? Betty? Veronica? Mr.
Even the way he
Lodge,
says
and
Veronica.
Archie. And what was the name of that band?
The Archies.
Yeah.
Doc Holliday.
Darth Vader. Oh, and he's going through a window now? Okay, I don't know what's going on.
This is
Well, the gang's all back after 15 years for a weekend reunion. Archie's engaged.
To neither of them?
Right.
Betty's teaching
Nice.
school.
I want to be both, a writer and a teacher.
It was a beautiful sunny day for the Easter egg hunt.
Veronica's, well, Veronica.
How would you feel
Wow.
if I did?
So
they lean hard into that.
Jughead is a
Jughead's a
dad.
dad.
How are you?
Arch, I'm really lonely.
I'm sure that's just temporary.
And I'm phobic.
You'll get over that.
And I'm a stranger to my own son.
You look
wow.
And Reggie's an entrepreneur.
Only a fool gives money away, right? Well, you're the one who know about that, Reggie. You betcha.
Oh, Reggie's such a douche.
He can't do that. Yes, he can. He owns the building.
And the gang must come together
I'm scared stiff.
to save
What's
their
the crown?
tiny lifestyle.
This is
They blow up. Oh, God. Hip-hop remix of Sugar Sugar.
And you got me rocking you. Break it down, come on. And you got me. And you got me. And you got me. Break it down, will you please?
The good old days are here again.
No!
Archie, return to Riverdale.
It hurts so much. It hurts so much. I'm
That's
glad
amazing.
you're enjoying my pain. So, okay.
so that's pretty weird.
Super. To be fair, the concept itself, like, okay, so you're trying to get onto a generation of people who grew up reading Archie,
Right.
and it's like, okay, here are these characters you know coming back to. So think of like the original Scooby-Doo movie, the
Right.
James Gunn one. That has a very similar kind of setup, I guess. Where it's like a lot of these characters that we know from something a lot older kind of getting back together and like having to redo the thing that they've done so well that entertained you in the past. It's like the concept of this, I feel like, has been done and it's been done better. But that's
Yeah.
just so weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really strange. I don't know what they were thinking. When they
Where is Jughead's crown?
Oh, yeah, where is...
To be fair, at that point, Burger King had assumed control of all crowns.
Do you think that Jughead gets royalties from Burger King?
I don't think so. I think it's the other way around.
Really? They gave him a
I
cease and
feel like
desist?
Burger King saw the Jughead crown, kind of like changed it a little bit, and then like once they assumed control of all crowns,
Yeah.
they were like, okay, you need to stop because we're the crown burger guys around here.
The Crown Jewels of England, fun fact, owned by Burger King.
Please let that be true.
It's true. The Queen had no choice. But they've been in my family.
But we own all crowns.
I feel like we should talk about
Okay.
what was probably the most, prior to this new comic, the biggest news about Archie.
that he died.
That he died.
Gunned
No.
down.
That he was killed.
Straight up murdered.
He didn't fall off a bicycle trying to stand up on it.
He didn't
Archie-
die of old age, happily married to someone other than the two women he was pining for.
Or
That's
to
my favorite part of that trailer, by the way. He's engaged to neither of them, but he appears to be involved with both of them still.
Well, Veronica seems to be involved with all sorts of people.
Yikes. All Veronica does in that is take her clothes off. Which,
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Well, and I love the
Which,
description.
where can I get a copy of this?
I love the description. And Veronica is Veronica.
Once again, a hussy,
she's
a harlot.
disrobing,
Yeah.
I wonder if Veronica ever became a term synonymous with hussy.
She's a real Veronica.
Oh, gosh. Stay away from that Veronica. Charlie, get over here.
You don't want to be
Seeing them Veronicas
That
again.
Veronica. She's
This
no
town's
good.
lousy with Veronicas.
Don't go down 42nd Street. Too many Veronicas on the prowl.
Line in each side of the street, I tells you.
Wow.
These
We
dames,
apologize if your name is
these
Veronica.
dames is no good. Oh, no, there are many
but you need
wonderful
to change your
Veronicas out
name.
there, but yeah, you probably should.
Wow.
No, so Archie died, you guys.
Yeah.
Archie was killed.
Archie died and went to hell.
He was shot in the stomach while saving his friend, openly gay Senator Kevin Keller.
Yeah. Archie's pal, Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah, who was introduced as a gay character in the comics several years before to make them more modern.
Pure heart all the way through. Mm-hmm. That was a real pure heart move.
Yeah. His heart is pure lead now because he
Yep.
got shot.
Bam. Right through the center.
But very strange that Archie... That
Archie would die a hero.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
If Archie had to go out, he goes out courageously and in an act of self-sacrifice that lets his name reverberate through history.
Or of a stroke trying to decide Betty or Veronica.
It was one of the two
It was
ways.
one of the two.
It had to be one of those, yeah.
I was leaning on the second one. But.
Well, that's the thing with Archie comics. There's enough of them running around at this point to where I believe for a while there were two separate Archie comics going on. One where he'd gotten together with Veronica, one where he'd gotten together with Betty, and they were going simultaneously on two alternate universes in which Archie had made up his mind.
People have to buy both. Man, I got to see what happens in this one.
In 2010, they launched a series called Life with Archie. This is also where he was killed. But this series chronicled two alternate parallel storylines in which Archie marries Betty and Veronica. You're right. But as we've discussed on the show before, a little sad about the controversial third story where he is married to Jughead. I would say, really, though, that made the most sense to me.
Really? They've been together the longest. They've known each other the best.
I mean, they just, of the three relationships, it was the most functional by far. My
Well,
God.
and in the very first Archie, Jughead denounces women.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Phooey.
Yeah.
Phooey.
These dames is no good.
That's right.
He was saying it from the get-go.
Yeah, he's a...
All the signs were there. But with Archie shot to death, it did kind of leave an opening for somebody to come around and reboot, if you will. That's the phrase I know.
But
Hollywood
Archie has
does.
lived on after his death.
Oh, no,
'Cause
Archie died in Life with Archie. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure, yes.
But I'm saying, there were Archie comics that, there was an Archie in Hell comic, yes?
I don't know about that.
I want to say there was.
I don't know about that. Archie in Hell seems a little...
No, I think that's right.
Archie in
Because there's
Hell?
the Afterlife with Archie.
Yeah, that's the zombie one.
That's the zombie one. But I feel like there was a comic that was Archie in Hell. Post-death Archie.
You would think that would be Afterlife with Archie, but...
I don't know. I might be wrong. Maybe that's just wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, I can't...
Oh.
I can't find anything like
Yeah,
that.
that was just in my dreams.
Yeah, we're going to find some scripts.
I mean, if you're in a zombie apocalypse, you're probably in hell.
Yeah.
I mean, that...
It's a brutal hellscape that is Riverdale.
Yeah, exactly. And Greendale.
But I'm saying, over the years, people have tried to modernize or at least make more contemporary Archie stories.
Make Archie more contemporary. But up till this point, it's felt like they've just been tacking stuff onto Archie.
Yeah,
to try to
Archie
make it
with
more
zombies. Archie with the cast of Glee.
Predator.
Archie meets Predator.
So
although
contemporary
that's,
Predator.
I was gonna say,
So-
that's a strange choice.
These kids these
Archie,
days.
but Archie meets the Punisher was definitely written in a time where Punisher was at the height of his popularity.
Yeah.
But now, for the first time, somebody has actually started Archie again.
Straight up reboot.
Mm-hmm. And we've talked about this on the show. This is what led to Archie as our stalwart.
Yes.
Which is Mark Waid and Fiona Staples.
Two great creative people coming together to create something great.
Two of the absolute best in comics right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to speak for the group and say we are not disappointed.
Okay.
Would you say that?
Are we
Gorgonia, are you
diving right
disappointed?
into it? No, I'm not disappointed.
I mean,
In
do you have
fact,
something else, John, before...
No, I agree. I was not disappointed.
Yeah. Going into this comic, my expectations were low.
Yeah.
But it is Mark Waid and Fiona Staples. Mark Waid has written some of my favorite comics, and Fiona Staples, freaking saga, man.
She draws saga.
And this is nonetheless quality. I mean, it is...
It looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, visually, just from the get-go, it is...
It's great.
It's beautiful.
It is a treat to
absolutely.
the eyes.
Absolutely. I mean, her art is just fantastic, and it really does carry over into this.
But right off the bat, when Archie's talking straight at you, I guess full spoilers for the first issue of Archie.
Absolutely, yeah.
You can pick it up for $4.
Yeah, right off the bat, where it's a shot of Archie. He's in the courtyard. He's surrounded by other kids, and he says, "Hi, my name is Archie Andrews. welcome to Riverdale.
Yeah, he's
Not
talking at
chick.
you. He's welcoming you in.
Not chick.
No. He's abandoned chick.
We're in.
But abandoned chick.
Archie also even he looks more modern. You know, he's got the Riverdale Letterman's jacket, but he's got like kind of slacks on with Converse, and he's got a guitar slung over his shoulder.
Feels pretty timeless.
It feels timeless, but I mean, yeah, yes, it does. It feels timeless as opposed to the
Old
completely
timey.
out of date Archie.
Like sweater and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he feels. I mean, he looks like a cool kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks.
I don't know what he lettered in.
Yeah, that is a fair point. I don't remember him
I
ever
know
being
it's
an
bowling.
athlete of any. Yeah, it's bowling.
No, it's not bowling. We know that for a fact.
We know that for a fact.
In this.
Oh,
right,
they do
right.
say that.
We-
That's
yeah.
right.
I mean, it's implied that he disappointed in his father.
So what's interesting about this is, and what I thought was cool is, it's not so much an origin story. They didn't like. It's not like this is the time he met Jughead or whatever. You know.
No. We kind of come in media res a little bit.
Oh, for sure. 'Cause-
In terms of the fact that we're led to believe that him and Betty have been together for a while, or
he
at least
says since kindergarten,
Right,
they've
and
been
they've-
inseparable.
well, yeah, they've known each other forever, but they've been like dating for however long. And,
Yeah, it
like,
seems like as long as you could be considered dating someone, really.
right.
Like
And this
whatever
first
age that
issue
would
we come
start
in,
at.
it's just like, and they've broken up.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? No. Like
And-
literally every other character is like, this is the worst thing ever to happen.
As I believe he says, they're the gossip du jour. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody is talking about what happened, and they keep referring to the lipstick incident.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, it's not explained by the end of this comic.
Nobody knows.
That's going to be the first arc.
Yeah, no, I think it. Well, and we'll get into what I think also.
I hope that's the name of the first trade. The lipstick incident.
Oh yeah, it easily could be. But Archie's trying to. I mean, once again, very relatable. Here's a guy just trying to get over a breakup with a long time.
And like at first,
relationship.
it seems like he's handling it okay, but like the cracks are definitely start to show him by the end of this first.
Well,
issue.
I love this on page 5. I love this this panel where you see the two of he's talking. You see the two of them in a Ferris wheel, and he's got his arm around her, and then the panel next to it is just him alone with his head in his hands, and it's night where it was day before. Mm-hmm. So I mean, yeah, there's this. It's great, yeah.
Yeah,
And-
like showing true depth of a character like Archie and being like, yeah, he is relatable.
Or showing Betty sitting at the. I like that they do like that they still hang out in an old soda shop, like a burger joint.
There's a weird like non-time essence to this comic
Yeah,
that I
sure.
like. In the
But I
same
mean,
way that
it's-
like Batman the Animated Series, like you're never quite sure when it takes place. This
Yeah.
definitely feels more modern,
Yes.
but there's definitely kind of an old-timey sense to it.
But I think that makes sense for this generation of excuse me as I use this in the most positive way, sort of a hipster kind of thing, where
Yeah.
like we do have a certain nostalgia for a time we weren't even around for.
Sure, yeah.
But I mean, you see Betty sitting here with with like the fountain soda and the 2 straws, but there's nobody next to her, and then you see her grab both straws and drink from them.
So sad.
And this, I mean, it's worth noting, in this day and age, a lot of the reboots of things are like a gritty realism or like hard, heavy hitting thing. Mark Waid said that he did not, that's easy. He did not want to reboot Archie as like a punk or a thug or, like.
Well, because that's really not what he's supposed to be. He's supposed
Exactly.
to be the everyday teen.
Yeah.
the character you can relate to.
But as he's not more dark, I feel like this and just the first reading is more relatable and more visceral. Like the emotions here are more fully realized and the stakes are higher and more interesting than in any Archie comic ever.
Absolutely.
With the exception of Afterlife with the Archie. Because zombie apocalypse, there's no higher stakes.
Let's talk about. I love this panel where a bunch of people are walking out of the movie theater and they're speaking in the number of stars they're rating the movie.
And somebody's talking about popcorn or soda.
The popcorn
behind.
is talking about soda.
Yeah.
There's a speech bubble from the popcorn
John.
to soda.
Popcorn is people too. All right?
All right. Yeah, my controversial
delicious
opinion.
people.
Delicious. I'm a cannibal.
But
Yeah.
on this same page, we also first of all, you've got Archie and is this Jughead?
I don't think so.
I don't know who this is that he's sitting next to.
No idea.
But they're playing video games, which feels
He's
very
other friends than Jughead.
I guess. But this guy says, "Hey, Arch, they say the Lodge millionaires are moving to Riverdale, and they have a daughter." Our first tease the existence of Veronica Lodge,
Right.
the rich hussy.
Whoa! Keep it G.
It's wealthy harlot.
That's what she prefers.
Wealthy. That's the PC term, isn't it?
Wealthy harlot. But we see the awkwardness.
A grand strumpet, if you will.
But this feels very real to me. This way of like both Archie and Betty are talking about how fine they are, and then we see when they almost talk to each other and they said like they haven't spoken. I mean, it's this sort of thing where like you're putting up a front, but there's really this awkwardness here.
Yeah.
This is the most heartbreaking page maybe that you've got pulled up is when he's talking to the camera about how they haven't really talked and they don't know what they would say, and she's at the locker behind him. She comes over to talk to him and then is like, "Oh, I don't know how to do this," and walks away.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you get this real conflict where he's talking about
so good.
How deeply bummed he is, but he doesn't hate her. She's still awesome, and she's not a jerk or anything.
Right. Now, they seem to have, like, broken up on quasi-good terms. Like, at the end of this issue, I'm just like, why did they break up?
I want to know.
I'm with every other character in the comic who's just like, what happened?
Speaking of that, I think my favorite part of this comic is every other character in the school trying to tempt Jughead with baked goods to get him to say what happened between them. Jughead's still rocking the king hat.
The king hat.
The king hat. Oh, thank you, Paul F. Tompkins.
I'll take the king hat.
But somehow works. I don't know.
Oh, no, it totally works. Jughead is immortal. Let's just put it that way. Like, Jughead's look is exactly the same, and it works perfectly. Like, if someone was dressed as Jughead in a high school today, it'd be like, okay, that's clearly one of the weird kids. But, like, a weird kid that, like, could possibly be friends with one of the cool kids. That's not impossible.
Yeah. I just love people girls waving a cupcake at him. Somebody else says a thing of donuts, and I like the one girl says, it's even written with is in sing song. You're like, you can have our desserts, our scrumptious homemade desserts, and he has to close his eyes. Like Jughead is that weak.
Jughead, I will say, is out of this first issue my favorite character.
Well, he has a great line here when Archie comes up to him and says, "What was that all about?" He says, and Jughead says, "Food." And they said, "What do they want?" And he says, "Stability."
I love also, like, Jughead can go from, like, this very, like, singular word kind of, like, gruff guy to very verbose really quickly.
Yeah.
He's very Silent Bob-ish in that way.
Oh, yeah. But also here's a scene where these people are confronting Betty about what happened. What is the lipstick incident? Did she find lipstick on his collar, in his car, on his lips? Did he cheat on you? And she said, "What? Archie would never." And she gets really defensive about that.
I'm so curious as to what
is it?
happened.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep. Well, which is funny because we've made jokes for a long time, even in this podcast previously, of like, who cares whether he gets with Betty or Veronica? Like, who cares about the love life of Archie Andrews?
Yeah.
Now we care.
This issue, you're like 2 pages in, you're like, oh my gosh, what happened?
Yeah.
Why?
Is he gonna
not
be okay?
those two?
Well, because I also don't think Archie's ever really taken this kind of approach of like slowly doling out story in this kind of way, or this very serialized.
No, they're easily digestible.
Yeah.
10
Also,
page
I really
things.
like the idea that, like, yeah, he was with Betty forever.
Yes.
And then something happened.
When that's going to be, imagine how impactful it's going to be when you introduce a character like Veronica as a new girl, and that's really going to, this is what good, like, teenage or just sort of romantic comedy kind of structure dictates.
Like, after
this has very
reading
like
this,
Hughesian kind of vibe.
After reading this, that's actually what I was kind of going to say. Is like, the reason I ask about the live action adaptation is like, after reading this, like, why hasn't Archie been a TV show?
Yeah,
that seems like Dawson's Creek, like all of these other like teen dramas. It's like, why didn't they just go straight to Archie?
This is like the original, you know? Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah.
Like, taken seriously, it's compelling.
Well, like Betty saying, I wish everybody would stop looking for a villain in this. That feels. I can just keep talking about what that feels, but it does feel like, okay, who do I blame now? You harlot.
But she's not here yet.
John, you know who you have to blame is the witch. Blame the witch.
The witch. Burn her. And then enter Reggie.
I love Reggie.
Reggie's like a greaser.
He's a greaser. He's such a sleaze.
And
the slick back hair and
once
the leather
again, I don't know what Reggie's normally like.
He's kind of a pompous douche.
Yeah, because he definitely comes off as that here. And here he's trying to slide in on Betty right away here.
Yeah.
And the people of Riverdale are not having it.
Look, John,
that's my favorite thing is how much all the kids in Riverdale are fans of Betty and Archie.
What do they call them?
It's near the end. I can't remember. They make up a couple name for them.
Betchy?
I think it's Betchy, yeah.
Doesn't quite work.
But so then they concoct this scheme that if they get them elected king and queen of the homecoming dance,
right?
that will get them
That'll
back.
solve all their problems if
That's flawless.
they're forced to stand up on stage together.
So then there's this great would you call it a montage?
I'd call it a montage.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if that's still a comic book term, but yeah, I had a film professor who would call it a montage, and it would drive me insane.
A montage,
but it's them convincing.
Turn in your montage on Monday morning.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the other kids in school convincing all the kids to vote for Archie and
well, specifically it's Kevin. It's like there's two other characters that I'm not super familiar. This is the thing with Archie is going into that. There's this whole supporting cast of characters that I have no clue about. Like there's a couple of them I know. Like the blonde guy, I'm pretty sure is Kevin.
Yes.
And then like Jughead's got the crown.
I think there are some new characters in here though.
Okay.
I think there are. Because I don't think, was there a character named Raj who's a filmmaker? I don't think he's ever been in
I have
anything.
no idea.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, to be fair, in all those years
so
of
much Archie, I
who
have no
knows?
clue.
It's more interesting what names haven't they used so far in Archie.
Right.
It's
And
like
then
3 names.
Xanthorpe.
Then Jughead
Xanthorpe.
Jughead agrees to be on the vote counting committee so that he can further assure their wins.
Right.
But first he asks for some crazy glue. Mm-hmm. And I love this. They said, what do you... Kevin says, I want to ask why you require this. And Jughead is definitely my favorite. I think he was always my favorite Archie character, though.
The way that Shaggy's your favorite Scooby-Doo character.
Absolutely. I want to ask why you require this, Kevin says. And Jughead's response is, we all know I'll just give a weird answer that will leave you even more confused, so quit while you're ahead. Amazing.
And
Jughead
what's his
is
answer
like above it all.
Fair
He's
enough.
the master manipulator.
Yeah.
He's the puppet master.
Oh, yeah. The other guy says wise. Or no,
But
I think the girl handing him the glue says wise.
But he's kind of above it all, but I mean his motivation here is to take care of his buddy Archie.
What I'm saying is he can like see
He's looking at the big picture.
Yeah.
But he knows what the lipstick incident is.
Yeah.
So
We're led to
don't
believe.
So don't sue me if I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Then we're introduced to Archie's dad, who's playing guitar, and I love he says he's taught me everything I know about his 3 passions: home repair, bowling, and guitar. You see a bowling ball bounce into another lane. You then see
the second lane over.
Yeah, you then see Archie has nailed his coat to a wall, but he says, good thing that the guitar stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there's this whole thing about Archie doesn't play in public. He
He
plays
doesn't
guitar,
like
but
playing in public.
He never plays in public. And there's an Angus Young reference, so that's certainly
I really appreciated that.
Modern-ish.
AC/DC's still around.
They're still around, but yeah, for sure. I mean, that would be a reference somebody would make today.
In response to critics to Angus Young saying, "What does it feel like to have put out 12 albums that sound exactly the same?" Angus Young responded, "Fuck you! I put out 13 albums that sound exactly the same." He knows what he's making, and it's great.
I appreciate that. If he's that self-aware, good for him. So Archie goes to the dance, but he's just there to do sound checks with the band. This is interesting.
He's a roadie.
Yeah, he's pretty much a roadie. And then you see Betty arrive, and then you have these 2 panels that compare him backstage, he's in the dance as well, isn't he?
I think
sign,
so.
and then she's entered, and she's sighing, which is...
They're clearly unhappy without each other.
Yep.
They don't want to be at the dances alone.
Because of how much I like this, I'm going to hate Veronica.
We don't know that.
I don't know that, but it just...
in the
I'm
same
already,
way that
this
people get
issue
over...
is so team Betty, Archie, team... whatever that was again.
Betchy,
yeah.
That still doesn't work.
But here's the thing: is you say that, yet you get over Gwen Stacy quick enough in like MJ.
Yeah, but Gwen Stacy died. I don't think Betty's going anywhere anytime soon.
No, but still, like, there's times where, like, especially Spider-Man Blue, where he's kind of skirting around both of them, for lack of a better term. And, like, you kind of care about both. You're interested to see what plays out. And
yeah, and again, I guess if Veronica's handled... I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm saying this.
As long as I respect the legacy of Veronica.
I know, right?
And the Archie canon.
What am I saying? What have I become?
I do love whoever this one girl talking to Jughead is, who sees Jughead's wearing the exact same thing he's been wearing in every panel.
He always wears the same thing.
But her word bubble is literally dripping with disgust and nice of you to dress for the occasion, which I like.
And then his response is, just be lucky that I'm wearing pants. Yeah. Which would be my response to that.
Yeah. So then Mr. Weatherby shows up for one panel, and they don't have the lead guitar for the band, so Archie's forced. They instantly put a spotlight on Archie, which I love, and an eep from him. And this, to me, this is my favorite piece of art in the comic is this whole thing where, because it's all done without words. You see he strikes a chord, but the note is distorted, and then Betty looks concerned, but then Archie's got it, and then it leads to this awesome splash page.
Oh, yeah, with just like him jamming out.
Yeah. Like, you really... It's so hard to... I mean, music is an odd thing to try to convey in a purely visual medium.
Like, this has done it very well. There's also been other stuff like Young Avengers did it really well, I feel like. Just like sometimes it'll like just click on the page like, yes, this is what jamming looks like.
Yeah.
I feel like Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim also
really
did a
well.
really good job, yeah.
So Archie kicks it.
Oh,
Mr.
Mr.
Weatherby
Vendetta,
does
not
come.
so much.
What?
Sorry, V for Vendetta. They just have like musical notes in the background, and it just doesn't.
So,
Play along on your own grand piano.
Yes.
so Archie kicks ass at guitar.
Oh, yeah. No,
and,
he rocks it.
Then Mr. Weatherby does come back, actually, to name the Home King and Queen, which is Betty, and somebody named Trevor.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Trevor.
hate that guy.
Trevor Smith. And then I love the panel of Jughead. Fiona Staples, her ability to draw expressions is incredible, because that look on Jughead's face.
He's just like, what? What?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because everyone's pissed at him because like the vote should have been fixed.
But then you see Trevor and Betty sort of looking at each other awkwardly, and then a very upset-looking Archie.
He's clearly not over her.
I know, but I love. But this has turned us all into these.
I know.
Like we're back in high school reading this
know.
comic, which is great. But then he gets it together, and he tells him to dance, and he starts jamming out again. And then we see that Jughead had burned the Archie ballots.
Yeah, no, he was backing up his boy Archie. He didn't want to put him in that awkward spot.
Yeah, there it is. So it was all for nothing. Betchy no more. And Kevin says, Betchy, oh, that's good. And the other girl says, why didn't you think of that while it still applied?
So this is the beginning of Jughead's corrupt politician phase.
This
There's
is
burning ballots.
I love
Jughead
about this-
becomes the kingpin eventually.
Yes.
Why do you think the Punisher shows up?
Yeah.
That's the best crossover.
What I love about this, though, then, Jughead, once again, sort of being the wise voice of reason in this thing, says, so you failed. Did it occur to you that maybe forcing them back together in front of the whole world where everyone's watching them wasn't the way to go?
Jughead is so wise.
So wise.
Season 3 of Daredevil. The trailer is going to say there's a new player in town, and you just see the silhouette of the crown. Oh my gosh.
Come on, Donovan, King Hat.
The King Hat, I'm sorry. Kingpin to King Hat.
I was going to say, that's going to be his villain name, too.
King Hat?
But then he continues, because you, once again, you see Betty dancing with this guy, Trevor, but she is very wide-eyed looking over Trevor's shoulder at Archie on stage, kicking ass on guitar. And Jughead says, what they need is to be reminded of what they're missing.
Oh.
I know, this comic is really nice.
Yeah, and then we cut to like, what did Jughead use the super glue for?
What I love about this is like old school Archie shenanigans.
Right.
He glued the guitarist of the band's hands to his steering wheel, and his phone is out of reach.
It's like Jughead sabotaged this so that Archie was forced to become the lead guitarist of this band.
Well, and because you see
and shine in front of everybody.
Yeah, including Betty.
Mm-hmm.
So then Archie and Jughead part ways. They're buds.
Oh, yeah. They're best pals.
And then Archie tells us, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed your stay. See you next time around. But he says, in the meantime, if you have any suggestions about how to get over Betty, I'm at Archie Comics. Hashtag lipstick incident. Dating around might be a good first step. I could try that. Who knows? Maybe there's some amazing new girl just around the corner as he's walking under the giant Lodge Industries sign that says, coming soon to transform Riverdale. Changing your town from the ground up.
Whether you want it to or not.
That's that very modern comics aesthetic of like, here's the little Easter egg that's going to carry us through whatever this arc is. Yeah. So that's Archie #1.
Which I think we can pretty universally say, like, we enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm anticipating issue 2.
Oh, very much so.
I'm stoked for issue 2.
Yeah. No, I think they
God damn it, they've got me like wanting this issue by issue. Like,
I really care. Yeah. I subscribe to this comic.
Well, and here's the thing is I feel like with a romantic interest like this, like a soap opera, like we're gonna want to go issue to issue. Whereas like a big story arc, you wait for the trade and you can read it all at once.
Yeah.
This, now that we're hooked, is like, no, I want to tune in. Like,
what do you kind of feel though, like
happen?
the generic structure is gone? I mean,
oh yeah,
all bets are off. This is a whole new Archie. I mean, we could see him legitimately get with one of these girls for an extended period of time.
I want him to get back together with Betty. Damn it.
Yeah, me too. I don't know how you could read this issue and not have that opinion.
That's true.
Like this issue doesn't end with me going.
Issue 2
I can't wait for Veronica.
Issue 2 is going to have to give me a very compelling reason to want
we are given
Veronica and Archie
one
together.
image as our teaser of what issue 2 is.
And what's that? I don't know if I necessarily saw this. I was too busy. I was wrapped up because at the end of the first issue is that like the first appearance of Archie kind of thing,
which you got very caught up in.
No, I ignored and turned off my tablet. Is what happened.
There it is. It's this, which is it's an image of Betty looking into her mirror, and she's wearing like a baseball hat, a white T-shirt, and jeans, and then she's holding 2 dresses, one up to herself and one in her other arm. And she seems very confused.
That photo's been online for a while. It's kind of
But
a
there's
teaser
also
for stuff.
that-
Man, it's so beautiful.
That picture she has like pinned to her mirror. She's like best friends with a dark-haired girl. Like, is she gonna have a past with Veronica as well?
That would be cool.
I don't know.
There's also a picture of her and Archie at the beach.
I know. That made me sad.
Do you think
They were happy together.
Do you think we're gonna get Sabrina anytime soon?
No.
Haven't they already announced a Sabrina series?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Sabrina series. I don't see her coming into this, though, necessarily. But the thing that makes me very excited is this ad in the back, which is for Chip Zdarsky, who I love. He does Sex Criminals with Matt Fraction. He's also currently doing Howard the Duck at Marvel.
Which is a logical transition to this next piece.
Erica Henderson are doing Jughead. This comes out in October. The tagline is "Getting in his head," and then it's a picture of Jughead, and inside his head it says "More than burgers, but mostly burgers." I love Jughead so much in this. I cannot wait to read the Jughead adventures.
I feel like Jughead's a favorite supporting character. What is the comic that's just him? I don't know. I mean, there was that classic Jughead spinoff back from like the 80s where he was a future cop.
Obviously, they're going down that road.
I hope so.
Is there anything else you guys want to say about Archie? Whether Archie today, Archie in the past. Archie is forever.
Archie is a stalwart.
He is our stalwart.
He has cemented himself as our stalwart, which is horrifying to me.
I feel like I called this a long time ago, and I was like, when this comes out, this is going to be a new day.
This is a game changer for Archie.
Yeah, I mean, it really
just a game
is.
changer for comics.
If somebody was like, hey,
let's not go crazy.
No, hey, listen, though. If this continues on the same path that it's on, if somebody's like, man, I want to get into comics, I don't really know what to read, this is such an accessible...
say Archie again. Oh, my God.
This is one of the most accessible stories I've read.
You're
Absolutely.
blowing my mind right
and
now,
I feel like
Dominic, 'cause
anybody,
you're absolutely right.
I feel like no matter age or gender or anything,
You don't have to worry about
the story.
You don't have to worry about
feels
like,
so
oh, that was
universal.
too harsh or that was too, far fetched or anything. Like this feels very. Yeah, feels like everybody had this story or knew these people in high school.
And kudos to Mark Waid for he kind of nailed it's a feel good. Well, it's not feeling good right now, but it feels like this is going to be a feel good story. Despite all the shit that Archie's going through, he's still looking at the camera and breaking the fourth wall, going like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm doing okay."
That's that. But see, that to me is that John Hughesian sort of feeling, like a Ferris Bueller, where he's going, "Come along with me, and here's our story or whatever."
Oh yeah.
And yes, there are sad parts, and yes, there are serious parts, but overall, it's that you leave feeling good. I think they did a fantastic job.
I mean, Fiona Staples with the art, conveying that feeling in a very
gorgeous art.
I can't think of anyone else who would be able to pull this comic off. Having seen this now,
I don't know. No, I don't know if I can say that. I think there's a lot of talented artists.
She nails it though.
She does. It's beautiful. I'm not taking that away. I just don't know if I can say she's the only one. I mean, think about our previous guest, Joelle Jones. I feel like her artwork is gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I mean, I don't know. I would be curious to see Joelle Jones' take on this. I don't think Fiona Staples is staying.
I'll call her up.
If I'm not mistaken, Fiona Staples is only here for a few issues. I don't think she's here for the whole series by any means. I think Wade's around though.
Good.
So we'll see. Yeah, we might get a new.
I want Wade to write this for the next 10 years.
Cool. So I think that does it for our discussion of Archie, past, present, and future.
Here's the other thing. I'm sorry.
Everything's Archie, as the song at the beginning told us.
I do have one more thing to say about this.
Yes. Okay.
The other thing that I'm really hopeful about for this, because Mark Waid can't write Archie forever, and Archie will go on forever,
as he's already proven he can.
But the way he wrote this is going to lead other authors of great talent, I hope, to be able to say, you know what, I could do Archie, because I'm sure there maybe Mark Waid was the first person they called, or maybe he wanted this book.
I don't really know how this came to be.
But if you think about if 2 years ago somebody's like, hey, Jeff Loeb, we want you to write Archie. Maybe he would have said yes.
Oh my God. Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale, Archie.
I would read that. I totally would. But
Yep.
this is going to open the door in the industry. It's being really well received from all we can tell. It's a great read. I think the sales are going to be through the roof on this
believe
one.
they are, yeah.
And I mean, this could open the door, like we said, to legitimate artists and writers and like people. This isn't like, oh, you're a new writer for us? Write Archie for a little while and we'll try you out. Like Mark Waid writes some serious stuff and not only like fluff stuff. I mean, read Irredeemable and, or Kingdom Come and realize he wrote some great Flash stuff also.
Yes, he did.
Wally West.
Great Flash run.
Do you remember reading? There's one where the Flash is stopping a bullet for the entire comic.
Yep. This is one of the great issues of Flash ever.
He's like,
the entire comic is him racing
to stop
a bullet.
One bullet. It's so every panel is like contained within.
No, that actually might be the best issue of Flash ever.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's Mark Waid.
It is. It absolutely is.
And Wally West, not Barry Allen, which
That's
is
true.
interesting. Anyways, so he's written some
stuff too.
He's written some legitimate stuff, if you know what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying?
Barely.
Good. There's a lot of spoonerisms today.
So, yeah, the first issue of Archie by Mark Waid and Fiona Staples is out now. You can find it yourselves. Do we know when the second issue is coming out?
I figure probably about a month, so sometime mid-August.
Sometime mid-August, okay.
Would you guys call this a full pants down recommendation?
Absolutely.
If we were to rate it out of 7.5, what would you give?
Well, that's for movies.
Is that only for movies?
Yeah,
I thought that was our rating system.
No. The comics.
You weren't at the
rating
meeting,
system
were you?
Has to
No,
deal
I
with
guess not.
pants.
Okay.
Pants up, pants down, partial up, partial down.
Okay.
Full on pants down.
You know,
full
suspenders.
Full on pants down?
Oh, yeah.
Bordering on pants off.
Whoa.
One foot is out of the leg.
I don't know if I can
Wow.
go that far.
I think mine are
Not both, just the one.
Mine are
think
firmly on the ground, but I don't know if I can take
mine
one
are
leg
around
out.
my ankles. I don't know if I've tried to kick them off quite yet. I think my shoes are still on. It would be difficult.
Oh, my shoes are still on. It was difficult, but
But you got there.
I got there. I worked for it.
Very impressive, John. Wish we wouldn't have done that here, but
Yeah.
Guys,
somewhat inappropriate during the podcast.
That's how committed I am to this comic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, cool. So as we wrap that up, we turn now to the way we end every episode, which is our recommendation segment where we recommend comics you should be reading. Of course, we recommend Archie #1.
Yes.
But we also recommend some other things. Donovan, I believe you're excited about something that you actually have here.
yeah, I don't always bring them. I'm very, very excited about this. Bridget has been mentioned before.
Yes.
Which, by the way, brief Bridget story.
Okay.
She listened to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode.
Yes.
And she corrected me.
Oh, good. Okay.
She said, I
this is
didn't.
our first fan correction.
She said, yes, thank you for that. She
Is she a
said,
fan?
she listens to once in a while.
She's contractually obligated to be one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Biggest fan. I told everybody that she was texting me while watching the finale, or she did not say, Grant loves Kara so much. She said, why don't you love me like Grant loves Kara? A couple like sobbing emojis.
And I stand by, because you told me this before we recorded. That's so much work. That would really make me like question what I'm doing, because that's a very strange statement.
Yeah,
from a clearly deranged woman.
Here's the thing: is I can't take any chances, because if it was a joke, it's not funny. It's not a funny joke.
No, it's not.
And if it wasn't a joke, I need to get out of town. No, but she did correct me, and she also.
Why don't you appreciate me like Hannibal appreciates?
Yeah. I know, I need to win some boyfriend points. Anyway, she got me.
She's going to love this episode.
This new graphic. She's not going to listen to this episode. Her mom might. Her mom mentions Archie to me every once in a while.
But there you go.
There we go.
I think everybody's parent is going to listen to this episode.
I hope so. Anyways, she got me this for my birthday. It's called Bandette.
Yes.
Bandette. And it is. This is my elevator pitch for you. I'm going to combine 4 movies
That is
for
a lot
you.
of things.
4 movies.
4 movies, yes,
All right,
but
here we
every
go.
element is important.
All right, 4
We're
movies.
talking original Peter Sellers Pink Panther,
Got it.
Batman 66.
Nice.
Oh, I guess technically this next one isn't a movie. The new Kamala Khan Miss Marvel.
Okay.
And The Great Muppet Caper.
Okay.
Interesting.
Put those together.
Stick them in a blender.
It's about this French like young woman, teenagey kind of super thief who's kind of good, kind of bad, gets evidence for the police, but is out for stuff herself. And it is so much fun. And the idea that it never wants to take itself too seriously is just so heartwarming. It is so much like I like read it with a smile on my face, kind of like reading Archie with a smile on my face. Like, this is just so much fun. It's by Paul Tobin and Colleen Coover does the art. And as you guys can see, I think John, you said you flipped through this.
Yeah.
But Gorgoni did flip through.
Great art.
It's really beautiful. There's this police inspector Belgeek who's kind of a hot mess right now, and he kind of has a love-hate relationship with her. And it's so much fun. Great use of onomatopoeias throughout the entire thing. I mean, it's just like, it's fun. It's really, really just...
It looks super fun.
A whimsical, fun book, a beautiful hardcover copy of it. I think there's a second volume out now.
Yeah, I think there is, yeah.
The first one is called Presto, which is, of course, her catchphrase.
Nice.
It's Presto. But like I said, it's so much fun. Dark Horse publishes it. It was a web series.
Yes.
Or a digital comic, I should say, not a web.
It won an Eisner Award for Best Digital Comic, I see on the back.
That's right. And it's so much fun. So I highly recommend it. This is another one like the first Archie. I would feel comfortable giving this to anybody. There's nothing in it that I feel like people would have to get over the hump of.
Sure.
Ooh, that's kind of weird, or that's kind of crazy, or anything.
Very cool. It looks really awesome.
It's really fun. You guys can borrow it if you want.
Cool. My recommendation this week is somewhat connected to Archie. It's a recommendation about Archie's good friend Frank Castle, i.e. the Punisher.
That relationship goes back so many years.
Oh yeah. But no, I want to recommend Greg Rucka's recent Punisher run.
He's killing it right now. Greg Rucka.
Yeah, this was a couple years ago, but it's fantastic. It's a great Punisher run. The very first issue starts with a wedding being massacred.
By the Punisher?
No.
Okay.
But
it's a mob wedding.
Evil
literally
wedding.
everyone at this wedding is killed except for the bride.
Mickey Blue Eyes style.
And she goes crazy, of course.
Yeah.
And decides that she needs to become the Punisher, basically. And so she seeks out Frank Castle to teach her how to be a Punisher.
No.
So it's about a lady Punisher.
Okay.
And
Please don't say she calls herself Lady Punisher.
No, she doesher.
Okay.
She's very specific. Her name is Rachel Cole, but she was going to marry a guy whose last name is Alves. And so she always makes people call her Rachel Cole Alves, even though her entire family was slaughtered, his entire family was slaughtered by the mob,
Sure.
I'm trying to remember the exact reasoning for it. It doesn't really matter. It's a revenge story. And they just go around and they start killing people. And it's awesome. She was in the military, I believe. So
Sure.
it doesn't come out of nowhere. But this all leads to a big event called Punisher Enter the War Zone, which is where the Avengers decide they have to do something about the Punisher.
Because he's killing so many people.
And now taking people under his wing.
And now there's a woman who's like his protege, so he's killing it twice the efficiency.
Oh, dear. So the Avengers have to shut him down.
And it leads to some awesome smackdowns between the Punisher and members of the Avengers.
Awesome.
It's a great run. It ended a while ago, so you can get the whole thing. I believe it's 3 trades, and then the Enter the War Zone miniseries is its own trade. So 4 trades, I guess, in all. But yeah, highly recommend. There's a variety of artists. I believe it switches throughout the run. But yeah, Greg Rucka, Punisher.
Sweet.
What do you got, Gorgoni?
I have, reaching backwards, a long-running manga series that I thoroughly enjoy. It's called Bleach, story and art by...
I have heard of this.
Me too.
Yes, it is also a popular anime.
That's probably why.
I have not seen it.
But by Taite Kubo, I believe is how you say his first name. Ugh. His first name always throws me a little bit. But yeah, it is about a young high schooler who can see ghosts.
Okay.
As many manga and anime start out, quite frankly. But the difference is that Ichigo Kurosaki can see ghosts, and that eventually leads to him like meeting up with some Grim Reaper type people who are around, like killing evil ghosts, saving good ghosts, and he accidentally gains the powers of one of these like Grim Reaper types.
Wow.
They're called Soul Reapers. And he accidentally gets some of their powers, and he ends up having to like work for them for a little while, and that leads to this whole huge adventure where the girl whose powers he accidentally stole gets like kidnapped back to the spirit world, and so he has to go on this crazy big quest to go save her. That's where the good stuff is. Later, the book, because this book is still going, it's at like 63 trades at this point or something, and it gets insane. Yeah.
Well, that's certainly that's a lot.
I'm gonna start recommending like more of these long running mangas, and I'll say this about them right from the get go, like. they're great if you want to pick up like a single book is like $8.
Sure.
For a trade. So like every once in a while.
But then there's 62 other ones.
Sure. But I'm just saying, like, for those, like, if you don't want to spend $25 on a trade, these are still like some really good series that you can pick up where the trades are a bit cheaper.
And let me also ask this: what kind of consistency do these things have? I mean, do you get diminishing returns by the time you get to volume 63, or are they pretty consistent?
Depends on the book. I feel like Bleach was better for longer. I'm actually not all the way caught up with Bleach, quite frankly.
Well, I'm not surprised.
You're gonna recommend a series without knowing how it's going right now?
I'll say this: up through like the 40th one, it's still great.
Okay.
I mean,
percentage battle at that point.
I just wondered. I mean, my thought with anything that goes for that long, I always think like, well, obviously it's going to probably fall off.
No, and you're not wrong.
Yeah.
There are a lot of these series that kind of like tanked after all. It was like,
Sure.
this probably should have stopped going.
That's true in American comics and things as well. Talk about Runaways.
Poor Runaways.
Runaways is back now.
Runaways ran away with itself. Wait, Runaways is back?
Yes.
As of post Secret Wars or just during Secret Wars?
I don't really know where it falls.
Because like, there's a lot of stuff going on during Secret Wars.
Do you know? This is going to take us up, but we're in a recommendation segment. Lumberjanes?
Yeah, I actually was just looking at the trade today.
So much fun.
That woman is writing Runaways.
Sweet, cool.
Cool.
That was actually I picked up that and Gotham Academy, and I was like, Gotham Academy because Batman is what I ended up grabbing, and I haven't read it yet. So, but you say it's good.
Yeah, Gotham Academy is awesome.
Cool. But yeah,
Arkham Manor is the sister comic to that as well, which is pretty cool.
Fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bleach by Tite Kubo is my recommendation.
Very nice. Well, if you want to read those and if you want to let us know what you think about those, you can find us on Twitter. We're at Panel on Panels. We're also on Facebook as Panel on Panels. We are on Instagram and Pinterest, which I'm still waiting for an explanation. And if you want to send me one, you can send it via email at panelonpanels@gmail.com.
Still long.
I refresh on the hour waiting for a Pinterest explanation. Hasn't happened yet.
One day Pinterest will email you going, listen, this is what we're about.
Okay, just sit down, calm down.
There are pins.
Yeah.
They're on interests.
Yeah, okay,
it's
whatever.
a Pinterest.
Yeah,
That's
know.
right.
Some kind of digital corkboard. I don't understand.
That's exactly, you just described it.
I know what it is.
You made it.
I have a little bit of an understanding of what it is, but the question that keeps bothering me, why?
So that you can look at things and never
John, how do you even
again.
go on the internet if you're constantly asking that question?
Well, I don't go on much. It scares me. But I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of Panel. What?
Well, this is kind of a special thing for this episode.
Yes.
But if you are tweeting at us or about us or this episode or anything involving that, and you use our hashtag Archies or Stalwart, feel free to also hashtag the lipstick incident.
Yes.
Kind of get some cross-pollination with all of our friends at Archie.
At Archie Comics.
At Archie Comics, you can tweet at them as well, and if you want to let them know you heard about it here, and that we're giving away all their top secrets, let them know. We want the lawsuit. We want that lawsuit real bad.
We just want a cease and desist
letter. That cease and desist letter. It's getting framed and going right up on the wall.
That's right.
Should we retire that hashtag, guys?
Oh, he's still our
Shall we keep it forever?
I'll say this. I think we retire it until the trade comes out,
then it comes
and
back.
then it comes back.
Fair enough. So this is the last episode. Feel free to use it, but then after that,
this will be the last one that uses it at
we
least
do
for
not
a while.
condone the use.
But I do promise there will be a new one.
Okay.
Because we will be reviewing the trade as well. Even if maybe not a full episode, but we'll make sure to let people know how.
But just
it
in
goes.
general, the quest for a new hashtag begins.
So it begins. Hashtag quest for a new hashtag.
Yes.
If you want to review us on iTunes and give us 5 stars because we have the best hashtags, you can do it.
I don't really care.
Hashtag review us on iTunes about hashtags.
I don't really care what the reason is for giving us 5 stars. As long
But
as
it does help.
It does help.
And
it absolutely does.
Every podcast is always like, please give us 5 stars. But
there's a reason for that.
Yeah, it's great. And if you do like the show, we would really love that.
Absolutely. So for Panel on Panels this week, I've been John Campbell.
I am currently Mike Gargoni.
And I will always be Donovan Eilert.
Keep reading comics, everyone. And for the last time, at least for a while, remember, hashtag Archie is our stalwart.
Hashtag Archie is our stalwart.
Hashtag Archie is our stalwart.
Sugar, oh honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting sugar. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. I just can't believe the loveliness of loving you. I just can't believe it's true. I just can't believe the wonder of this feeling too. I just can't believe it's true. Ah, sugar. Oh, honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Oh, honey. Oh, sugar, sugar. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. When I kissed you, girl, I knew how sweet a kiss could be.